Welcome to the Vocational Expert Views channel. Normally, we discuss disability issues, but we're also involved in MMTLP. So, tobacco shorts and sales post U3 confirmed. We've had a lot of new information that's come out in the last 2 weeks, and I know that we've heard some of you that were involved last year pretty heavy. I know we heard about some of these trades being reversed, but it didn't hit mainstream news very hard, and now it's coming about. So, Johnny Tabacco has just verified that shorting and naked shorting occurred after the U3 halt. So, if you can see his data that he's presenting out here, uh, 15 million shares were borrowed and shorted on 12/8. And of course, we all know that with the U3 halt, those cannot be delivered, so that's failure to deliver. So, in addition, we've also learned that Trade Station has admitted that they have an overbalance of naked shorts. And the real question is, why are they coming out with this information? Because they've been hiding it for basically a year, and now, what is the purpose of coming up clean now? And so a lot of us are trying to look to see what shoe is about to drop, or why are they doing that, or more importantly, how are they going to screw retail with this information? So we need to see and determine why TradeShare is coming out with those videos. And we have new information about TradeShare too. So moving forward, Junk Savvy has been doing a lot of posting, and if you listen to her on Twitter in the mornings, she has a lot of good action videos, or she posts action videos and calls to action, and that keeps you up to date on the retail investors. There's over 65,000 of us shareholders, and we've lost billions. Based on the basic math, you know, MMTLP fiasco is bigger than FTX and Sam Bankman Fried, and that's combined. In addition to Madoff, if we want to throw that in, you know. So it's been up to retail to investigate all this because, as we know, the I'm sorry, the SEC, Gary Gensler is basically protecting the bad actors. And every time that we've gotten Gensler pinned down, he's more or less deferred us out, or I can't tell you that information, or, we might be doing an investigation. Basically, they're stalling to steal our money, and that's just how it comes down to. So, again, all of a sudden in the last week, Johnny Tobacco has been coming out and doing a lot of tweeting. And so something has changed on that front. And that's something we need to watch about. And this is something we need to keep pressuring Congress and senators about, as well as our local news stations. So Johnny Tobacco has been tweeting about these shares that were traded after the U3 halt and reversed, in addition to these shares that were borrowed. So we know how many legit shares they are, but we're not sure how many are naked short shares or full-on counterfeit shares exist. So Johnny Tobacco did some math and verified some points on MMTLP shares sold and canceled on December 9th. And based on his math and information he's received up to date, there were 21,000 shares that were sold for $26 million. So basically, it sounds like someone who is buying shorts up to try to get out at the last minute because they knew they were going to have to pay big time. As we know, if you watch some of the other data, there was a very good chance that MMTLP was going to go over $5,000 a print, and this is based off of some level 2 data of good to cancel orders that was already in place and people have been showing. So $1,220 a share. So at that point, that puts us bigger than Sam Bankman Fried, and it puts us bigger than Madoff and all those things put together. So one theory is the 165 million shares is $200 billion. So, and that's 200 billion minimum. We know there's a lot more shares out there than that. The The other part is, Charles Payne has been helping us out a little bit, but he hasn't been doing as much as I would like him to be doing. But he did have Gary Gensler and Robert Cook, and he's part of. He sent a letter to them asking them to review the events around MMTLP. You know, as you know, we've sent over 40,000 letters to Congress, and the SEC approval form for the S1 still hasn't come through. Now, if you remember reading the trade station letter, basically they said, we can't put you into AST, but, the SEC hasn't approved the S1, which kind of leads me to believe that trade station knows that the SEC is not going to approve the S1 unless trade station situation is fixed. So we still got a lot of work to do. Over $10 million have been stolen from our veterans. And here is Johnny Tabacco's tweet about the $26 million that occurred on 12/9. So, based on his research, as I stated, that these shares were traded. Money exchanged hands, everything was set in place, and then it was later reversed. So someone got $26 million and they had it, and then it got reversed on them. So for those of you who do not have MMTLP, but you're watching this video, what is occurring with MLT affects you. You might want to read an article called Dole Foods Has Too Many Shares. And if you know anything about Dole Foods, most of you would assume that that was a blue chip stock. And so how would a blue chip stock have counterfeit shares? You might go, yeah, well, MMTLP and how it was set up, you might expect some counterfeit shares here and there. But Dole Foods, a blue chip stock, Tesla has some fake shares. This situation is affecting all stocks. And therefore, the MMTLP situation isn't just affecting American veterans, and we know over $2 million American veterans' money is tied up in this. It's not just the retail investors in MMTLP, but what's occurring with us is the same thing that's been occurring with AMC, GME, HYMC, GTII, Finger, and hundreds of other stocks. Again, Dole Foods has too many shares. Countless companies trying to get on and study and do research, such as cancer research companies, have been put out of business due to naked short sellers. And basically what they do is they jump in on a good idea and a good company, and they just sell, sell, sell. It's not about, is this company helpful to the American public? Can they help cure a disease? No, it's how much money can we rip these people off for? And so countless companies that were studying and had good promise for cures for cancer and many other conditions have been totally destroyed by naked short selling. So let's look at the main points. It's been 389 days since the U3 halt, and us investors are still waiting for answers and results. We have a lot of evidence that suggests that there is a massive share imbalance, and there's a share imbalance at TradeStation. We have that. With only 35 shareholders reporting right now of MMTLP shares, we have basically 80%.